Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. You may have seen the video of Travis Heinze getting run out of Turtle Lake, Wisconsin for the crime of allegedly loitering. If you haven't seen that, take a look at this footage and then we'll discuss the interesting law behind this.
Took a while to turn on, huh? Alright, here, I guess I'll get out.
No, you don't need to get out, but
I mean, it's uncomfortable sitting like this, so...
Well, you're in here sleeping like that.
Laying down. Well, what's the law about?
You can't loiter in our town.
Okay, is that what ordinance do you mark that as?
It's our village ordinance.
Can't loiter in our town. Okay, excuse me.
Bottom line, just get in your car and get out of Turtle Lake. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be making my way out, but...
No, now.
I'm not, no.
We're done. We're done here. If you don't want to cooperate, just get in your car and leave.
Are you a chief or something?
I'm the police chief. Yes, I am.
All right, good job. That's not an elected position.
We're not here to debate who I am, what I'm doing. I've told you who I am. I told you I was the Turtle Lake Police Department when I arrived.
Okay. Oh yeah, and were you called or?
No.
Or you just come up on your own to?
It doesn't matter. You've been here. I told you I've been here all day.
You've been here all day?
You have.
Okay.
Don't turn my words around. We're not going to play the game.
We've all been here, I mean, for a while.
Right now, we're asking you to leave our town completely.
We? Who's we? You didn't get elected.
The village board put me in charge of enforcing the ordinance. So it's the village board tells me that they don't want people loitering in this town.
You got a mayor?
They have a village president.
Okay, so he's not elected.
Yes, he is.
Then why would you call it?
We're not going to debate this,
that'd be similar to mayor.
If you don't want to ID yourself, just get in your car and let's be gone. We're not here to debate it. You need to leave.
Need to leave?
You need to leave.
You guys are really crazy.
No, we're not.
I mean, this is a regular...
You don't want to ID yourself, so let's get back in your car, take your stuff, and head out of here.
I'm willing to exchange information.
So let's take a look at the Turtle Lake Ordinance that prohibits loitering. It says that no person shall loiter in or about any public street, public sidewalk, street crossing, alley, bridge, public parking lot, or other place of assembly or public use after being requested to move by any law enforcement officer. And upon being requested to move, a person shall immediately comply with such request by leaving the premises or area thereof at the time of the request. So loitering laws in general, basically you have these municipalities who historically have created this offense of loitering, which is a crime with really for no apparent reason. Your mere presence is the crime. There's a lack of any criminal intent whatsoever. And that's the problem. It's been used for potentially legitimate reasons by law enforcement in the past with gang activity, with drug dealers, with prostitution, things like that, or at least in the eyes of the public. But it's also been used by law enforcement for other things, such as using it against homeless people, using it against anyone that they don't like, you know, the poor or the other groups that the police want to target for some reason. The big constitutional defense to this is what's known as the void for vagueness doctrine. And this is when a law, a state law or municipal law, state or local law fails to inform the average person basically what conduct is prohibited. So there was a 1972 U.S. Supreme Court case, Papachristou versus City of Jacksonville. Now, this was a loitering case. I think it was the first one. This is where, you know, taking a daily walk could be considered loitering. And the court struck it down as being overbroad or unconstitutional for vagueness. So is it a daily walk or is it the criminal offense of loitering? As the court wrote in the opinion, the net is cast large. So the individual police officer is getting to decide what is a crime and what is not. That's ultimate discretion. So who is loitering and who is taking a walk? So the police, in other words, can target the poor and the unpopular. So as a result of the Papachristou decision, 1972, most loitering laws around the country were essentially rewritten. And how did they rewrite them? To include specific offenses associated with loitering inside the statutes themselves. So this ordinance here in Turtle Lake doesn't appear to have been rewritten or initially written to include any specific offenses so as not to just give ultimate discretion to a police officer who may decide to just run, poor John Rambo right out of town with disastrous consequences. So I actually did some Seventh Circuit research as the federal circuit that Indiana's in. And there's a couple cases that if you're interested, you can look at. There's a 1983 case from Seventh Circuit, Waldron versus McCaddy. And it didn't strike down Indianapolis's loitering statute based on something that you don't need to know about called abstention doctrine. However, it strongly implied that it would have been found unconstitutional had they agreed to make that decision. And there was a very strong dissent in that opinion discussing and laying out exactly why Indianapolis's loitering ordinance was unconstitutionally vague in 1983. About a decade later, there was a 1994 case out of the Seventh Circuit, case of Weimerslagi versus Maine Township High School. And a couple interesting things in that case. One, they define loitering, but they also discuss the 1983 U.S. Supreme Court case of Colander. Now, in that case, as the Seventh Circuit, was interested in, the Supreme Court determined that a loitering statute in California that required anyone who police thought were loitering to go ahead and provide their ID and demonstrate with credible evidence, their identity, who they are, to law enforcement. That was giving law enforcement too much discretion, allowing them to misuse that to do the wrong thing. And that's sort of what we're seeing here. This ordinance itself, in my opinion, is very clearly likely unconstitutional as void for vagueness on its face. It just gives too much discretion, ultimate power to law enforcement to decide who's a criminal and who's not without actually pointing to any reasonable suspicion of actual criminal conduct. And I think that's clearly demonstrated in the video. So thanks for watching, and please check out the blog, thecivilrightslawyer.com. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any updates or new videos. And please, if you enjoy the content here and support what I'm doing, consider joining as a member on YouTube. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it. I'll see you next time.